Good night.
Thanks for playing.
There's nobody watching anyway. So.
Hey, there's 6. There's 6 on this channel anyway. Of course, Rumble decided this was the day that it has to be an asshole, starting up, right?
Well, of course.
Of course, we have our biggest guest other than Michael Francis that we've ever had. So why not have tech problems to start things off? Fantastic.
John Schneider coming on, hopefully, at 4:30. Do you think you know better than I do? Some of these guys, do they watch the show before they log on?
Most of them do not, which is thankful, I think. But I think John Schneider would probably be okay with watching what we do.
Maybe. I hope so. But
he might not be okay with the language that we use sometimes, but I think he'd be okay with what we're doing here.
Fuck you talking about?
Yeah, not me. And I'm the clean one here. You're the dirty mouth.
That's true. I am more. I wouldn't say dirty though. I would say that I use more foul language probably.
I would not say that, but although I will admit this, for anybody that is watching, this show is definitely, of my 3 shows, this is my quote-unquote clean show.
Well, see, that's the difference. You do a lot of dirty stuff not on this show.
Right.
Other shows you do. But me, for whatever reason, I don't know why, maybe because I've done radio for so long that, like, using foul language in my just regular vocabulary just kind of flies out.
Mm-hmm.
Part of my general talking, speak kind of thing.
Sure. Dude, it's such a weird thing, man. I flip back and forth. Like, I swear I drop F-bombs all over the place all day long. But then when I get on the phone with a customer, I just automatically go into the, well, hello, sir. How are you?
Well, that's the way I am, God willing, on like the radio.
Right.
I'll be swearing all morning, and then as soon as Bob starts talking to me on 1420 WHK, that's what I'm on with Bob France. Of course, it's Bob's show, but I happen to chime in every now and then when he lets me. But I turn it off. You got to turn off the swearing.
Mm-hmm.
And then when I'm on here, it's like, oh, what the fuck? Like, I'm swearing however what? Then I realize that my daughter might be listening, my wife, or my dad, or somebody's listening, and then I feel bad about all the swearing. I'm sure that I've run off some family members by the language that I use.
Oh yeah, dude. There's nothing worse than when who you really are scares your relatives away.
Yes.
Like my one book that I wrote, my most recent book, and other things I should not say, is just filthy. I mean, it's about my time in Korea, running around in Korea, and I mean, it's dirty. It's absolutely talks about banging hookers and getting hand jobs in the street and everything else. I mean, it's as dirty as it can possibly get.
And just canceled.
Yeah. Well, the funny thing is, my mom reads all my books. Like, she's, proud mom.
Yeah.
And she's like, "Oh, I'm gonna buy your and other things book." I was like, "Mom, don't buy that book." I was like, "Just don't buy that. I don't want you knowing this part of me."
Well, I know that I had some aunts and uncles and stuff that used to like listen to the show.
Mm-hmm.
And now I know that they don't, and I think it's because they found out that little Seth, Natalie's back. What you watching on?
Rumble.
Get out of here.
She can watch on YouTube if she wants. I'm just going to say this to Natalie right now. Unless they kick us off, and we're not going to censor to try not to, but I have put us back on YouTube for now.
Yes, it is.
So if people do want to go to that shit-ass platform, go ahead. It is up. You can watch there.
But, I know that I've scared some away with the language. And I don't mean to. It's again, my regular speech is swearing sometimes. I don't know why. Maybe it's just like natural.
Dude, we're grown-ups here, for God's sakes.
Look, I don't know if I am. I really don't. Because I'm afraid of everything. Like, I'm literally afraid to say stuff and, that I'm going to offend. So today, though, I was proud of myself.
Okay.
So I went to Meijer, the gas station, like I always do. It's like a routine. I am very OCD routine kind of person.
Mm-hmm.
I'm stuck at 17 years old. I'm in a 75-year-old body, and I'm very routine, though, with the shit that I do.
Okay.
So every morning, my routine is I get up at exactly 6:40, and then I get ready for work and all that kind of stuff, get dressed and cleaned up and all that kind of bullshit, and then I sit in my chair until it's time for me to go to work. And I leave at exactly 7:33 every day. And I have pretty much, I know where the clock is supposed to be when I'm on my way to work at a particular time. I know it's 7:47 when I'm at a certain spot on the road.
Right.
Assuming the traffic is all right. So I'm very OCD like that, very routine.
Okay.
So every day I go to Meijer gas station on Broadway Road and I get the same shit. Because again, very routine. Mm-hmm. I get one big Gatorade Zero and I get 4 Diet Cokes because they're 2 for $4. So they
okay.
And so I know exactly how much it's going to be. I know, dude. I know it's 12:09 for me to get my stuff.
Right.
Okay, so I'll have enough. I'll have Gatorade for the show. I'll have 2 Diet Cokes before I leave, and I have 2 to bring home on my way back.
Okay.
So again, it's so fucking routine. It's disgusting. It's a mental illness that I have, and I probably should be checked out. And so today, I get my stuff. I'm standing in line. I go up to the counter. I ring out. And she goes, 3:45. So, excuse me? 3:45. I said, okay. And I put my card in and I pay my $3.45. And I ask for a receipt and I walk out and I check. And I know every day that it's 12:09 because it's
right.
a single day of my life. And I look and she didn't charge me for the Diet Cokes.
Ah.
So it was 4 Diet Cokes that she didn't charge me for.
So did you go back in like a good Samaritan or did you run?
I sat there. And I debated it. I'm like, what should I do? I don't want to go to hell. But at the same time, I just saved $8. And then I said, all right, you do like some bad things at times. And so you might want to go back in and. Yes, I am. And Greg, when you see those Diet Cokes in the fridge, you're welcome to have one. But remember, I am OCD, so I count them. And
that's right.
Exactly when they're supposed to be drank during my my morning routine. So I decided I didn't want to go to hell. I'm going to hell for other things, whether it's watching porn at night before bed and all that kind of stuff. There's plenty of things I'm going to hell for. And so I decided I got to go back in. And I went back in, and I was hoping in the back of my mind that she'd be like, don't worry about it. I screwed up. Just go ahead. But no, she went over to the cooler and rang up 4 Diet Cokes, came back over and charged me for them. Which is fine. So I was a good person and went in and paid for my stuff. But what would you have done?
I'd have paid for it. I would have. I probably would have stopped her right there and said, "Nah, this ain't $3.50. It's much more." But in the old days, I'd have stole it. Are you kidding me? When I was 20 years old, I'd have stole it.
All right, Mr. Greg Mack, DJ 95.5 The Fish, Christian music DJ. I want your opinion. Is it stealing if I take it? She's the one that fucked up.
Doesn't matter. You still know that she did.
But what if I just assume, maybe I just got a discount? Or maybe because I go there every single day, they want to be really nice to me and let me go with my Diet Cokes.
It would be just as simple to ask, hey, did you get everything?
Is that my responsibility? I'm not being
responsibility. You're the one that's worried about this being a hell burdening mission. It's your responsibility to protect your soul for the Lord in your scenario.
I understand that, but at the same time, it's her job as the cashier to bring shit up correctly. Why should I'm not being paid to bring that stuff up. That's her damn job. You know what? If I forget to do something for Bob's show, who pays for it? Not me. Or not Bob. It's me.
St. Christopher, I knew that I should have paid for this stuff, but she fucked up, so let me in the gate. Is that what you're going to say?
Yes. I would have gone back and paid for it. It's karma. Well, I understand that. Look, but I go to all the time now when I go to like Walmart, I go to Giant Eagle and everything else, I'm the one that has to cash shit out. I'm the one that, not being paid, but I'm going to a store and I have to work to check everything out and pay for it and everything else. If I fuck up and walk out of that store after not charging myself for something, I'm going to get arrested. She is the one that screwed up, not me.
Well, dude, in today's world, you could have gone back and stolen 100 times as much, and it still wouldn't be, it's not like they're going to arrest you for it. It's under a grand.
Somebody else's mistake.
Yeah, it is. Because you know that it's not yours for $3.
What if I didn't even think about it? What if I just was like, I didn't hear her say $3.45 and
different story
and checked out.
But that's a different story because then you think
ignorant.
you paid for it. You think you... Yeah, well, you can't play ignorant when you're dealing with your soul, dude. Again, I'm not saying that you're right or wrong. I'm just saying that if your true concern is if you're going to heaven or hell or not, and tagging something on, then you know the answer before you even ask.
Where's my reward for going back in there and saying, hey, look, you messed up. I'm saving your job by paying for these things. I should get some sort of congratulations.
You do. You get a nickel in the karma bank.
My picture on the wall at Meijer saying, this guy.
You get a nickel in the karma bank. That's what you get.
It's not the same as stealing. It's not like I went in there with the intent of taking something and putting it in my bag without paying for it. I went there, put it on the counter. She's the one that messed everything up. And I'm the one that's in trouble for stealing? No.
Yes.
That's not right.
Yes.
Legally, would I be charged with stealing?
No, not legally. But we're talking moral. We're talking morality here. Legally, you wouldn't get caught. Again, legally, you wouldn't be charged with stealing unless you stole $1,001 worth of stuff.
Okay, that's so here. I think it's still stealing, but I still think that. Wait a second. She made the error of not ringing it up properly. So how could I be in trouble for anything? God should look down on me and go, "Hey, buddy, I just gave you a deal." Maybe that's what God was doing. Maybe God was knowing that I'd come home today like I did and have get yelled at for not having my daughter in driving school yet, and have to fork over $500 fucking dollars so she could drive a car. Maybe God knew that was on my plate for the day and said, "Hey, I'm going to save you $8 in the process, and so take this, enjoy it, and it's your gift for the day that I'm going to give you, which is going to suck ass."
Yeah, God said, Seth, I'm going to give you the gift of taking advantage of a stupid person. That's how it worked.
Yeah. The Lord works in mysterious ways.
That would be mysterious.
God knew that I was going to have a shitty day at work and a shitty day when I got home. Knew that I was going to have to $400 so my daughter could drive a car, which is you might as well just ask for it me. I would actually take that over having to pay $500 to put my kid in driving school.
Why don't you offer it?
I would literally rather drive to the woods, flatten my tires on my car, lay on some log somewhere, and have some guy with two eyes that are not centered right come up and rape me in the butt than have to pay $500 to, have my daughter drive a car.
Dude, if you want to get into car things, you know what I did right before we got on the show?
Oh.
I obligated to $5,500 for a transmission. $5,500. Think that didn't hurt my heart? Think I didn't want to steal that somehow?
Who'd you call?
Dude, I called so many places, man. There's no...
You didn't call Charlie, did you?
Charlie doesn't do transmissions. You need with the car I have, you have to have it the whole computerized blah blah blah. Trust me when I tell you, I called everybody. Everybody.
Well, now you should talk about it on the show, and so maybe somebody can give you a deal. St. Peter is going to remember this day, and it will cancel out one of your days of debauchery 30 years ago. I need to do this a hell of a lot more. I'm going to have to ask the Meijer lady, don't ring me up for a month.
Right.
Or a year.
See, there you go, Scott. $500 ain't anything. Wait till she asks it to be added to your insurance. Good point.
Well, you know what I say? Get a job.
Yeah. You know what I say? Help out, everybody. Join us at Mines.
Yeah, I've now decided since I had to pay that I'm going to, on my way down to SeaWorld for my vacation, I'm going to have to sleep on the side of the highway instead of getting a hotel room on the way there and on the way back a couple of times.
Might have to sleep in the whale's pool and just hope that they don't eat you.
Yeah, I'm going to have to float in the dolphin habitat as my sleeping arrangements for SeaWorld.
That is too funny.
I'm going to have to take the fish out of the bucket that would normally be fed to an orca have that for my meals.
That's right.
So please go to minds.com. We have extra content at 5:30 today. 5:30.
That's right.
Minds, MINDS.com.
Right.
/ Seth Williams Show. $5,500, dude.
Yeah, I know. You don't have to tell me.
Car for that.
Huh?
You could buy a new car for that.
No, you can't. Believe me, I looked at that option too. I mean, I could. Look, the reality was this. I have taken immaculate care of my car. My car is in really good shape, and I don't drive very much. So putting a transmission into my car, I'll get another 10 years out of it. So the option is $5,500 for a transmission, or $3,000 down and a $400 or $500 a month car payment for the next 6 years.
Well, look, well, you and I are friends, but I don't know your daily routine or your schedule. Mm-hmm. But the amount that you tell me that you actually drive,
not much.
So buy a $5,000 used car.
Dude, but I got to buy a fat guy car too. Don't forget, I'm a big fat tub of shit. I got to buy a fat guy car.
We have the same car.
What, the Altima? Yeah, that's a fat guy car.
Not really a fat guy car.
That's a fat guy car.
Get out.
I can't pour myself into a Festiva or something.
I didn't say get a Geo Metro. I just said you can still afford a decent. I'm not saying buy.
But even that's going to be more than it's going to be more than $5,000, man. Dude, have you looked at the price of cars these days? They are ridiculous.
Maybe God will send you $500 now. You're right. Okay. I'm going to start working the streets, man. I decided if women can be hookers, I can be a hooker. I'm sure there's a woman out there with some sort of amputee fetish that would see me on the side of the road and go, hey, I got to have that guy. Mm-hmm. How much you want? $500.
Put it out there.
Strippers work their way through, for college, by stripping. Maybe I should do that. I'm going to put my daughter through driving school by stripping.
I'm going to tell you how you do this, dude. You sign yourself up for a Pornhub account. You make a couple videos of yourself jerking off with the leg next to you, and you put them up on there.
It's got to be, a fetish, something like that, right?
Yeah, I'm sure there's some fetish somewhere that somebody would pay to see that. I'm sure if we told people the link here, even though they won't admit to it, there'd be people here that would watch that.
I know that there's amputee, categories.
Oh, yeah.
I looked only out of curiosity because of my situation to see if there actually was something like that. And there is. So maybe I'm missing the boat here. Podcast is over. I'm going to porn.
You can follow Seth at xvideos.com/Seth Williams.
Amputee. Seth Williams Amputee. Once I have the $500, I'll quit. How about that?
There you go.
Once we get enough people signed up for Minds, minds.com/Seth Williams Show, I will stop doing amputee porn. Until then.
That's what it is, yeah.
That's all you're going to get on Monday and Wednesdays.
Taking a little KY, rubbing it on the stump, rubbing it on your dick. Sounds great.
I watched it. Speaking of that.
Speaking of that, what? There should be no speaking of that available.
quick tangent. I was watching you can watch Bob Francis' show, Strictly Speaking, on True Blue Network.
Yeah.
And you can also watch Chris Hansen's Takedown show on
yes, love it.
And so I was watching an episode of that. If you haven't seen Takedown with Chris Hansen on True Blue Network, please sign up for that. It's fantastic. But all it is To Catch a Predator, like he used to do on Dateline and stuff.
Yeah, just a different name.
And so, you get these pervy older guys that try to go have sex with like 15-year-old boys or girls and 14-year-old girls and stuff. And so I was watching one the other day. I was working out and I was watching this show. And it's bad because I have these headphones on. I'm cracking up while I'm on this bike in the gym.
Right.
But so this guy walks in, and it's a gay guy, and he's there to have sex with a 15-year-old boy.
Okay.
And he walks into this Sting house, and he has a bottle of Astroglide with him.
Okay.
And so Chris Hansen pops out of the curtains like, have a seat over there.
Right.
We'll get back to my porn thing in a second. So Chris Hansen sits down next to this like 30-year-old guy that's there to have sex with a 15-year-old boy.
Right.
And he goes, let me read some of your transcript here.
Oh, no.
It says that you want to bring Astroglide with you to meet this 15-year-old boy. Then it says that you'd like to rub Astroglide on his cock and then bounce up and down on his cock, and he's going to bounce up and down on your cock. And like the show never used to be censored, and so now, or it used to be censored. Now,
now it's not. I know. That's the best part.
So that's all you hear is him like repeatedly say, "So your plan was to bounce on his cock."
And Hansen is so good at being straight-laced when he reads it. He's he just reads it and he says, So, you want to slide your astroglided dick in his asshole. Is that correct? Because that's what you said. That's what you said. You know, and I like how he does that all the time too. When the guy tries to deny it, he's like, "Well, that's what you said."
Right. What did you mean by that?
I love that show, dude. That is, forget True Blue. I mean, I love that it's on True Blue because that supports what you're involved in and stuff.
Yeah.
I would love that on any network. I would watch that I would subscribe to whatever network that is on.
And meanwhile, there's a bottle of Astroglide sitting.
Yeah, just sitting right there.
And it was great.
And a gym bag with wine coolers and rubbers and Astroglide.
There's no way that John Schneider's coming on the show if he saw the first.
I hope he's not watching.
I mean, I'll still promote the event and everything else.
Of course.
Right, he is, because he is great. I certainly didn't mean to get on this topic. But
that's what happens when we both come in a mood.
This should have been in the 5:30 segment.
Yeah, no kidding.
But you'll get more of this at minds.com/Seth Williams Show.
That's right, at 5:30.
Tony Masaccio will not be on today.
What?
He had an emergency golf outing today.
I hope he's okay.
I hope so too. He let me know like a half hour before we started here that there was an emergency golf outing. He wasn't going to be able to make it.
Hope he's able to save his 3-wood.
I guess Natalie did not steal.
All right, well, good. Nor should she.
But I still think that I'm a good person for going back in and paying.
Of course you are. That's what you're supposed to do. Let's be honest. That is what you're supposed to do. When you see somebody as dumb as a box of rocks, you're supposed to help them.
So let me get this straight. I'm supposed to go back in and pay $8 for the Diet Cokes that she forgot to ring up.
Yes.
But if I'm a college student, I can go onto a campus, start beating the shit out of Jewish people, storm into a building, take over that building, and protest the genocide and for the genocide of Israel. That's what I'm saying.
So you're comparing the ideology of God with Democrats.
All I'm saying is that if they can get away with things like that, then I should be able to get away with getting 4 Diet Cokes for free.
Well, the BTK killer got away with killing people for 35 years. That's not a license to go strangle your neighbor.
It depends on what the neighbor did to you.
Well, the neighbor didn't do anything to this guy. He just roamed around.
Look, you can't equate taking 4 Diet Cokes to strangling people.
It's the same thing. You're the BTC killer. C for Coke.
300 people were arrested for that last night, by the way. But, okay, there's more protests going on now. I think at another college in New York, there's a whole bunch of kids that are locked up.
They're going to start with the wood shampoos. I'm telling you, they're going to turn the cameras off and start just wood shampooing all these guys.
Did you see some of the video of these idiots?
Mm-hmm.
These idiots that supposedly go to Colombia couldn't figure out how to put a pizza in a box and then... and take it by a rope up to a window so they could eat.
Right.
One of these dumbasses went on TV and said, "I don't understand. This is, cruel and unusual punishment that they would not feed us and give us drinks. We need water. We need food to survive in here. You dumbass! You locked yourself in a building and nobody can get in, and you shouldn't be there to begin with. And now you want them to feed you and give you water."
They should have fed them 500 pounds of TNT.
I swear to God, I said it the other day and I'll say it again. Shoot these fucks. Go in there and just start shooting people. I mean, they're breaking the law, for God's sake.
That would end it.
They're hurting people. They're preventing people from going to classes and everywhere they want to go. Shoot them. Shoot them in the legs. That's fine. Then drag them off.
Or beanbag them.
Something.
Beanbag them or rubber bullet them. That'll chase them. Instead of throwing tear gas, throw some rubber bullets at them. Pop, 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 pop. Guess what? You'll see the whole crowd scatter because, A, they won't know that it's rubber bullets, and 2, getting hit with one of those things, no thank you. You ever seen the wounds that those things leave on people? You get hit with a rubber bullet, it leaves a bruise.
Never been hit by one.
I've never been hit by one either, but I've just seen people that have been hit by them, and the bruise is about the size of a volleyball. from getting hit with one. So you shoot somebody with that, they are not going to keep doing whatever it is they're doing. They are going to disperse.
How about Kristi Noem on the short list for Trump VP? Wrote a book that she shot and killed her dog.
Oh, it's a dog.
Dog is untrainable, so she shot it.
Hey, what's wrong with that? All right.
Are you going to take care of this part?
I will do this. All right, we are... Go ahead.
Go here, right?
Yeah, he's getting ready to go, but we'll be ready here in a second. Why don't we do this? Let's take a break. I will play a little bit of the music of the great John Schneider. We'll play some good old boys, and then we will be back with John Schneider right after this. It is the Seth Williams Show.
Out in the hills, someday the mountain might get them, but the Lord never will. Making their way, the only way they know how. That's just a little bit more than the Lord will allow. Play, Joe. Just two good old boys, wouldn't change if they could.
And let's welcome Mr. John Schneider to the program. Hello, sir. How are you?
Well, I'm just fine. I'm fine. It's always so great to see that song and see all those people. I just saw Tanya Tucker was in there, and Bobby Bear was in there, and T.G. Shepherd and T. Graham Brown. So much fun. So much fun.
That's
Absolutely.
Awesome. Welcome to the show. I know that you recently did the TV show with a guy I work with. I'm producer for Bob France. I did a TV show with him a few days ago.
Oh, yeah.
And did the radio show as well, so I want to thank you for that also.
Absolutely. I so enjoy talking with him. It's nice to talk with people who make sense.
It is. There's not a whole lot of that going on right now in this country, to be honest with you.
Well, no, the not so silent minority certainly has control over much of the mainstream airwaves. But thanks to you, we can actually get some of the truth out there for people to listen to, contemplate, and act on. Right? Come November, got to act on it. Got to do it.
That's right.
That's the goal.
Absolutely.
I mean, we spend half the time talking on this show about college protests and people hating each other and politics, and it needs to be fixed. And so, it takes a lot of patriots to get that done.
Absolutely. I mean, the solution is not simple, except, well, it kind of is. We need to fix it, right? It's broken. We need to fix it. It's not somebody else's problem. It's your problem. It's my problem. It's our problem. And the only people who can fix it are us.
Right.
It's not like, everybody has always thought they live in, these are tough times. These are unusual times. Well, these really are. What in the ever-loving hell is going on?
Huh?
How in the world have we allowed, except that, we're busy doing something called making a living, how have we allowed, not only have we allowed the inmates to run the asylum, but we have allowed them to thrive doing so. But here's a newsflash for everybody. Guess what? They are not going to come to their senses and see it our way one morning. It ain't going to happen.
Right.
As far as they are concerned, they are doing a bang-up job at exactly what they want to do, which is destroy this country from the inside out. We can no longer allow them to do so.
Right. John, how much of your, I mean, you've always been, an American, throughout your career. At the same time, how much more impassioned did you become when they came after you and your show, the Dukes of Hazzard directly? Did that push you even further in, or?
Well, absolutely. But, I've always appreciated that there are people who have died and people who have lost loved ones so that I can have this thing called freedom. I've always understood that. But when they started, when it started to get really crazy, like, wait a minute, what? The Dukes of Hazzard is a racist television show?
Right.
Are you out of your mind? This is the least divisive, the most inclusive. I mean, it's more inclusive than Little House on the Prairie, for crying out loud. So when they started doing that, I thought, this too shall pass. But then they started taking down monuments. Then they started this entire revisionist history. Then they started not only revisionist history, but they started teaching a history that didn't exist, and no one challenged them. No, and now we have people. We have drag queens singing songs in kindergarten.
Yeah. Right.
For kindergartners. We have parents who have to fight for the right to know if their child is pregnant and arranging to have an abortion. These are things parents shouldn't have to fight for the right to know. These are things that parents should know. So it has really, truly gotten incredibly out of hand. And I'm going to say it again. It's not going to fix itself.
Now,
they don't think it's broken because in their playbook, it ain't broken. This is exactly, they don't want a southern border.
Right.
They don't want a nuclear family. They don't want people to get along because it's age old. They are in the process of dividing and conquering. They have divided. It's up to us to come back together so that they do not conquer.
Now, my question would be, and we're going to talk about your music, and you got an event coming up in Lorraine Palace Theater, May 25th, which we'll talk about also, but we talk about this all the time. What is the solution, though? I understand we need to come together and try to figure this out, but what is eventually the solution? I mean, are we looking at a civil war? Are we looking at, what are we looking at? I don't know how to do it. That's, I don't see the light at the end of the tunnel.
We may be looking at a civil war, and, the country is worth it. I have a new song called She's Worth It.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's going to come to that. But if it comes to that, we need to be ready for that. But what we do is we stop being closet conservatives. I don't know why people who believe in the family, I don't know why people who salute the flag and people who appreciate those who have given the last full measure for our freedom, I don't know why there's a tendency for those people to be quietly conservative. Scream it. Get the biggest flag you can get and hang it in your yard. Say God bless America every time you can. Make sure you reprimand your children in public and embarrass them if they do something that's embarrassing. So these are things that we've got to do.
Do you think that we don't do that because the last 2 decades has been spent with coddling and not being tough, with participation trophies and everybody gets to participate instead of saying, no, you suck, sit down. I think that's what it is when we grew up, all 3 of us grew up, there was a toughness that you had to learn. And if you weren't good enough, you weren't good enough. There was no, well, maybe next time you'll do better. It was, nah.
No,
fix it.
You were embarrassed. There was when I went to school, I'm from Mount Kisco, New York, and when I went to school, there was a thing you would wear a dunce cap and sit in the corner.
Right.
And everybody would say, "Oh, look, who's the dunce today?" Well, guess what? Every day there was a dunce.
Right.
Nobody wanted that public humiliation. Nobody wanted that shame. But having that public humiliation and having that shame kept you from doing whatever that was again. Now we've got people attacking police officers. I mean, we have people shooting. The travesty from day before yesterday. My God, in North Carolina. Was it North Carolina?
Yeah.
Charlotte. It's gotten way out of hand. We don't appreciate our law enforcement. We don't appreciate authority in any regard. We think that whatever whim we're on today is our God-given right, and we need to hate Jewish people, or we need to hate white people, or we need to hate black people or brown people or red people, because it's fashionable. And it has got to change. And it's not just for us. It's not just for the United States of America that it has to change. We are the pinnacle of what freedom is. The United States of America to the rest of the world is the end game. It's the goal. To be able to dream, to be able to grab opportunity with both hands. If the United States of America continues on this down slope that we're on right now, then no one will have any hope anywhere. Imagine these 17 million people who have been, basically invited into our country, who get better health care than we do.
Yeah,
true.
They didn't come here because they wanted it to be like Haiti.
Right.
They came here because they wanted to be the America that they heard of, the United States of America that they grew up hearing about, that their grandparents and their great-grandparents talked about. That's not what it is right now. It will be again if we take charge, if we take action. If we don't, we will lose this country. And I mean, we will lose it. If these clowns get back in office in November, we will lose this country in a year and a half.
I'm going to be honest with you, though, John. Like, I look at our politicians, even on the conservative side, and I get angry because those guys, I'm tired of hearing about committees. I'm tired of hearing about, a letter they wrote. I need some action by our politicians that we put into office. And that's not happening, in my opinion. I think that even on the conservative side, they need to step up and start doing something.
Absolutely, they do. But everybody's concerned, like you said, the last 10 years, the last 20 years with the participation award. Somebody has to come in, and you know what? I could do it because I don't care.
You can swear.
I don't care if somebody likes me. I don't care if they like what I said. I don't care if they like what I do. I will do what I think is the right thing. We have a couple of people out there who are like that. They aren't in huge positions of power yet, but maybe they will be. It's scary. Can you imagine? I don't know if your grandfather could be alive for a day. If my two grandfathers could be alive just for a day, and they got to watch the news and see what happened to their country. Mm-hmm. My grandfather fought in World War I. They wouldn't believe it. They wouldn't believe it. So we owe it to them. We owe it to them to fix this problem. And then, and this is uncomfortable. We need to maintain the solution.
John, do you think that even on the smaller, obviously the politicians, we need a lot of change to fix that. But I honestly think that we need to start even at the lower level. And I'll give just one example. When you see these people just screaming down cops, and I mean just screaming them down and using the language at the cops and just pretending like they're robots and they're not supposed to react, at what point do we who want to stand with the cops actually stand with the cops? And if that's, and not have that be vigilante justice where we go to jail for standing up for law enforcement?
Well, I think if we actually did that, what you just said, which I think is a great idea, when we see something, I've not seen it, I've seen it on the news. If I saw it in person, I would go stand shoulder to shoulder with a police officer.
Sure.
So we need to do that because, this has got to stop. And guess what? If there's violence happening and if I'm just going to say it, you have to be willing to die for what you believe in.
Amen.
You don't have to just be willing to be moderately uncomfortable.
Yeah.
You have to be willing to die, and your enemy needs to understand that you are willing to die for what you believe in. Yeah. And until that happens, then these folks are just, my gosh, what's happening on our college campuses in the last 5-10 days is unbelievable. You turn on the news and you think, what am I looking at? Something happening in Baghdad? Is this happening in
right?
What? No, it's happening at USC. It's happening at UCLA. It's happening in New York. My God, this is insane. So it has to be fixed, and we have to be willing to put our safety where our mouths are. We just do.
Yeah.
And until we do that, no one is going to take us seriously.
Agree.
I know you're coming to the Cleveland area.
Saturday. Lorraine. I'm coming to Lorraine, Ohio. I'm going to play the Palace Theater.
May 25th.
It's not going to be a political event, but if somebody asks me a political question, guess what? I'll answer it.
Well, that's what I was going to ask. What can people expect when they see you at Lorraine Palace Theater?
Well, I'm going to do that. A lot of people don't even know, and I don't understand it. But I had 5 #1 country songs, so there's a bunch of country music that I'm going to do. There's a lot of I'll do some Q&A and stuff. It's going to be a lot of fun. I've got a couple of my buddies and I are going to play guitar and sing songs, tell stories. Look at there. There's John Schneider and Cody McCarver. It's going to be fun. But again, if you're nostalgic, you want to talk about Dukes or Smallville or the haves and have-nots or Nip Tuck or this clown Joe Biden, then you just go ahead and ask me a question and I'll answer it to the best of my ability. I will tell you my truth.
There you go. Well, John, I did want to ask you about Nip Tuck, actually, because of all the things that you've done, that was such a bizarre show. I mean, it I loved it personally because it was so far off any beaten path, but certainly off the beaten path of what you've done as an actor. How difficult is it to get into a story or a storyline like that is so radically different?
Well, first of all, if you were playing a bad guy, and I was, my name was Ram Peters.
Right.
Right, and I own Penetrate Video. And you've got to find the good in the character you're playing. At least I do. So I found that, with all of my porn stars, I was viciously protective of them.
Right.
So I believe we were all doing the right thing, and we're making a buck and doing all that, and it was it was a lot of fun. And I tell you what was so odd about that show is that all the people on the set, they were talking about their kids' soccer game and their kids' volleyball and a track meet. There was no like, hey, how's it going? None of that whatsoever on the set of Nip Tuck.
Wow.
So I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it a lot, and I wish I'd done more. I think I did 6 episodes.
Yeah.
But it was fun. The haves and have-nots was fun. I played a delightfully, despicably terrible person on the haves and have-nots, and I enjoyed that. Because it is, actors want to act.
Sure.
So just kind of being the nice guy was that got boring after a while.
Sure.
But I will tell you, way back on Touched by an Angel, I think it was their 8th episode ever, I played the devil. So,
okay.
So that was fun. And then I did Leverage, a show called The Studio Job, where I if you wouldn't give me your song that I liked, I would break your fingers. I was a bad man.
Right, definitely. John, when you do shows like that, you obviously walk into a lot of different people, a lot of different personalities, and in today's world, a lot of different political people. Now, like have and have-nots, it's no secret that Tyler Perry is pretty much opposite of you politically. Yeah. How do you avoid that? Becoming an issue? Do you just not talk about it? Do you just stick to the work? I mean, how does that not infiltrate into the day-to-day interaction?
Well, I stick to the work, but also if somebody is bringing up a subject matter and they look at me, I'll say, "Do you really want me to answer that?"
Right.
So I'll put the one level because I want everybody to get along when we're working.
Sure.
But the last conversation I had, I love Tyler, but the last conversation, and I think somewhere in there he loves me, even though we disagree politically. But the last conversation we had, I had posted a picture of a Capitol Guard removing a barricade. And he said, "Why did you do that? Why did you post that?" And I said, "Well, because this is something I believe deserves further conversation." why was that? Why was someone acting basically like a docent inviting their tour into the Capitol, and why are these people being jailed for following orders?
Right.
Basically. Well, that was the last time we spoke. But I do want to tell you, I've never seen anybody with a stronger work ethic.
Sure.
It's amazing. It's amazing what he does. He has one of the biggest dreams I've ever seen in my life. We just disagree politically. Completely disagree.
Right on.
But
so
I disagree with some of my friends politically. And
sure.
It's not all about politics, but it is all about the survival of this country.
Right on.
If we don't take the necessary steps to make sure that we are back in control come January next year, then we won't have this country.
Yep.
And we won't just not have this country as we know it. We will not have this country. This country will go away. And we have between November and January to figure that out. I believe we're going to win. I believe the sane side is going to win. I believe the conservatives are going to come out and vote like they have never done before. It's going to be in numbers too big to manipulate. And it has to be that, because we know, one of the problems with conservative people is we fight fair.
Right.
One of the problems with liberal people is they think cheating and winning is fighting fair.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And I wasn't raised that way.
I agree.
But you do need to know your opponent. You've got to watch the game films. You've got to study. You've got to figure out what it is you're up against so that you don't get your ass kicked again.
That's right.
Okay? So, and I believe we can do it. And once we do it, we must never turn our backs on them again.
Amen.
If they even exist. If the Democrats don't win in November, they're probably going to go the way of the Whigs.
Wow.
They'll be gone. They'll be gone because they'll be too embarrassed to show up anywhere.
Good.
And guess what? There'll be police on the streets keeping this nonsense from happening, and we won't have the gutless heads of our institutes of higher learning who are afraid to say that screaming, genocide to the Jews is the wrong thing to say on your campus. Come on.
We agree.
Tell us about participation awards gone awry.
Yeah. Tell us about the new single. I mean, that's kind of where this whole conversation is leading to. I mean, tell us about the new song.
Well, yeah, the new song is called "She's Worth It." It's about our country. One of the great things in it is it talks about our Constitution. It isn't just a word; it's the glue that holds the whole damn thing together.
That's right.
I'm very proud of the song. Proud of the.
We lost your audio here. Lost your audio. Uh-oh.
I don't know why.
There you go.
So in the chorus, I say, that's why we won't give up. Hell no. In this lost world, she's our hero. Freedom isn't free. It's up to you and me. Brother, I believe when it's time to toss the tea, she's worth it. She's worth it. Yeah. So
right on.
I'm hoping with everything I have that and you can watch that on YouTube, folks. It's called John Schneider, She's Worth It. You can watch it right here. Hopefully you'll play it.
Yeah, we're gonna play it right. We're gonna play it right here in a second. Well, John, this has been a lot of fun, man. Talking to you, we could talk to you for hours on this, but I guess if we want to talk to you more, we should show up at the Lorraine Palace Theater on Saturday the 25th, right?
That's right. Yeah, just show up. Throw some questions, and we'll meet backstage. Yeah, throw some questions my way. We'll put the guitars down and just continue this conversation.
All right. Well, one more time. It's John Schneider and Cody McCarver on Saturday, May the 25th, out at the Lorraine Palace Theater. Make sure you go, and let's check it out right now. This is She's Worth It. It's John Schneider, and thanks for joining us, man.
Thank you very much. God bless. God bless America. Bye.
Take care.
Amen. See you.
It'd be so easy to turn our backs and walk away, ignore the fires burning, live to fight another day. But I'm believing that no matter what it takes. Her amber waves of grain should grow forever. It's a duty, it's a right, an obligation to stand for her and fight, 'cause she's our nation. That's why we won't give up, hell no. In this lost world, she's our hero. Freedom isn't free, it's up to you and me. Brother, I believe she's worth it.
Good stuff, man.
That was good. That was really fun.
Yeah, I wish we could have kept him longer, but I was told he had a certain amount of time, and so
Yeah. Seemed like he might come back.
yeah, I think so.
I think maybe we'll catch him when he's off tour, when we could just really sit down and just have a real in-depth conversation, because he definitely has the right opinions, that's for sure.
And he was very open about everything, and
Yeah.
it's a good song too. I like the song, and yeah, that was fun. But I don't, you know how it is when you get somebody you don't want to like irritate the publicist and stuff.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, keep him. Oh, you can only have him for this much time. He's got other things to do. It's like, okay, well, if I ever want to get somebody again,
Yeah, well, and that's it. Is the last thing you need is you guys said 20 and you kept him 35, and then you try to get somebody else and they're like, nope, you guys don't honor your commitments.
right? So, but thanks for John Schneider for coming on, and thanks to everybody. Appreciate it.
Look, neither of you asked him about Daisy Duke. He hasn't worked with Daisy Duke in 40 years.
Oh, believe me, if we weren't over the time, we were already like 10 minutes past the time that we were supposed to.
Yeah, exactly.
And I was going to ask him about that and say, hey, look, sorry, but my favorite part of the show wasn't you. It was her. But I didn't get to that point yet because you had to go. So it is what it is. Sorry,
all
man.
good.
You know, I like Daisy, and Daisy Dukes are like my favorite thing of all time.
Yeah. I'm
wearing a pair now.
As you get ready for your amputee porn shoot.
Yes. Lube it up. Got my Daisy Dukes on.
That's right.
And this podcast, you're going to see some crazy shit on the way.
But that bonus half hour is going to be something special this night.
Oh, hell yeah.
Well, no, that was a lot of fun, man. John Schneider, one more time. We'll promote it again, even though he's not here. It's John Schneider and Cody McCarver, Saturday, May the 25th at the Lorraine Palace Theater. Tickets are cheap, too, $39.
Yeah, not bad.
That's not, even the highest end tickets are only $65. That's really not bad for a guy that's been in, 10 different TV shows and had 10 number one hits or whatever in the country world. That's pretty good.
And if you haven't been to Lorraine Palace Theater, it's a great place. I mean, it's not a bad venue to see a show at all. I mean,
Dude, even if you were in the back, it wouldn't be bad. I mean, the back is not that far from the front.
no, it's a good venue.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's where we saw Michael Francis.
Yeah. Yep.
Excellent.
That's where I got my house.
Yeah, there you go. So
Lorraine Palace. I saw John Rich there.
there you go.
Singer, John Rich.
That's
I've been
awesome.
there a couple of times. It's a great place. Man, I'm going to go to that show. Dude, that's a busy fucking weekend, to be honest with you.
It is, dude. I'm not going to be in town.
Because I got something on Friday night that week. Then Saturday night, I'm going to that show out in Lorraine. Mm-hmm. Then Sunday, I'm going out to Pittsburgh to see you
Right.
for that show out there at Pinball PA.
That's right. Yeah, it is a busy. It's a busy. Thank God Monday's a day. Are we going to take the Monday off, or are we going to do a show?
Man, that's a good question. We might need to take that day off.
We may have to, because I'm not even going to get back until. I mean, I'm not coming back that night. I'm staying over and coming back Monday morning.
I'm coming back Monday. So yeah, screw that. We're not doing that.
All right.
You'll have good extra content on that Wednesday if you sign up on minds.com.
That's right.
Seth Williams Show.
Yeah, maybe we'll throw a best of together or something to air, but yeah, I'm thinking no shows that week. Yeah. For whoever said it before, yeah, there will be no live CMS. There will be no live Seth show. And fuck it, I haven't talked to Eric yet, but I'm going to make the command decision now. There will be no Chris Aiken Presents either. I'm taking that Monday off. I'm taking that weekend off from shows.
What does that mean? Way's show is going today?
I don't know. I have no idea what that means. I didn't write it.
I thought it was a great interview. I thought it was pretty good.
I thought it was good. I thought it was really good, man. Anytime they want to talk and they're not afraid to say things, I'm game. I'm totally game with that. And good for him. I mean, he could be cucking to keep getting acting roles, and he doesn't.
No. I think he got in trouble for some stuff that long ago too. So I mean, yeah, he speaks his mind, and that's cool. I mean,
and he's still getting roles and on like TV and stuff. Wasn't he just on like The Masked Singer or something not that long ago?
And a lot of these guys get blackballed when they open their mouths and say stuff that isn't on the left side of things.
Right.
An interview with Howard Stern, you're okay. If you're not, then you ain't playing anything. You ain't doing anything.
Well, Howard Stern, Jesus Christ.
Did you see that?
Yeah, that's a disaster.
Whew, that was bad.
Yeah, Howard just tasting the Biden balls. Oh my God.
It was even worse, man. He ran down the so-called accomplishments of Biden. And I don't know how he did it with a straight face.
I know. He's like, you established these jobs and you got everybody comfortable to take the vax. It's like, what are you talking about?
Nuts.
Yeah, the economy's better than it's ever been.
I couldn't. It was barely watchable.
Oh, it's awful. Maybe in the bonus half hour, there's. Are you a fan of Anthony Cumia at all? O&A?
Yeah.
He did a thing on YouTube talking about that specific interview. Maybe we'll just pull that up and we'll comment on his comments because it's pretty funny.
One thing that I meant to I think I sent it to my email, but I don't have it currently.
Mm-hmm.
If you can find it real quick.
Yeah.
Did you see the Drew Barrymore thing?
Oh yeah, the Mamala or whatever.
Yeah.
Oh God, she's a fucking moron too. Let's see, Drew Barrymore, Kamala Harris. Kamala Harris, the mamala of the country. Where is that? I see a bunch of videos, but they're all like other people. I don't want to get other people. Let's see if this is it. All right, keep talking for a minute. I'll find it here.
I'm doing all kind of different things, and everything's not working for me right now. There's so many things going on. I don't know. There you go. Anyway, that's working.
Jesus.
That's working.
Drew Barrymore, Kamala Harris.
I mean, this is the most ridiculous thing. I think she has a brain injury.
Why am I not
finding? It's the most ridiculous thing that I've ever seen in my life.
It's ridiculous.
How is it not on YouTube?
Well, I think there's a bunch of people commenting on it, but there's not just her and Kamala.
I know I sent it to
Kamala Harris, Drew.
Now we're both looking for shit while we're supposed to.
Yeah, I know this show's going. We'll catch up. You guys will get the rest of the good show on Minds at 4:30.
5:30. Yeah, 5:30.
5:30, whatever time. Here we go.
Oh, do you have it?
Yeah, well, I got the whole interview. We'll have to skip around. It's only 6 minutes, but here we go. Let's put these fucking two morons back to back. Here we go.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you.
We have all women here today in the audience. Thank you, ladies.
Oh, good, because guys don't get a say.
Half of them are hot chicks too.
Which ones are you looking at?
I bang a couple of them just to shut their mouths. Sorry, my wife is watching. So
hopefully the cum glazes their mouths shut. Is that what you're saying?
I'm pretty much saying that, but I didn't want to say it out loud.
I'm dirty. Hello, YouTube.
And goodbye, YouTube.
All right, let's play more of these yentas all yenting it up.
And this is our first all all-female audience, and I keep picturing my two daughters. I mentioned that to you. I keep seeing their faces. And
what?
What if there's a trans dude in there? Does that count as an all-female audience?
Looking at that picture where we stopped, I think we found the trans dude.
Look at that.
Jesus. What happened to her? She was so hot at one point.
Yeah. I almost said something really bad, dude. Sorry. Keep going.
All right, here we go.
I almost said when she's on ET.
Yeah.
Forgot she was like 8. All right, keep going.
She was really smoking on Poltergeist, man.
you are a stepmother to Ella and Cole.
Yes.
Was Ella around 13 when you came in?
Oh, good.
Cole 17-ish?
Yeah.
I just want to punch her in those big, stupid teeth.
Which one? Kamala?
Camilla.
Camilla? Yeah.
Camilla.
Can we fast forward where she says mama?
I don't know where she says it.
Come on, this is ridiculous. This is the most ridiculous show I've ever seen.
All right, let's go.
These two idiots are stupid.
I have such an investment in this question.
Oh, do you?
I, too, am in a beautiful dynamic. My children's stepmother, Allie, who I am the president of her fan club.
Oh, are you?
You and Doug dated for a while before you met them.
Yeah.
That's when you were banging and blowing other guys to get ahead. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Just making sure. Doug didn't mind tasting this congressman and that senator's cock. Is that correct?
And luckily, John Schneider's over. So.
All right, here we go.
Do you remember that day? What was it like?
Ugh, what was it like?
It was probably one of the most special days of my life. First of all, I'll tell you, we kind of don't use...
No one cares!
And their word for me is mamala.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Here we go.
And their word for me is mamala. And so they call me mamala. But Doug and I dated for a while before I met the kids for a very specific reason. His parents have been married 65 years.
Oh.
I am a child of divorced parents.
Oh.
And
you
didn't
dumb
fully
bitch.
understand what I understood in terms of my own lived experience, which is it's really important, I feel, that children create such attachment. And
She speaks daily for a living? She stinks.
That's the vice president.
I know, she's awful.
She could be in charge when Biden dies the next day or two.
Just think of the 1-2 punch in a meeting of her talking and then Biden talking back to back for like 30 minutes. Can you imagine that?
If that guy falls over, and like tomorrow, she's going to be in charge of our country.
Jesus.
And you see how decrepit that old bastard is.
Yeah. Well, we'd be led by Mamala. Thank God.
Oh, thank God. I can't wait.
All right.
Mamala Harris is my president.
All right. Here's some more of Mamala.
until I was sure that he and I had something that was real, I didn't want to do that to the kids.
So I kept swallowing other senators' jizz. All right, now I'm in total fucking dirty mode, but that's all right.
No Tony Massager today.
Well, we'll fill in just fine.
All right.
All right, here we go.
Every woman just stopped listening to the show all at once.
Well, that takes care of 3 listeners. Big deal. Bye, Heidi.
And so, and he'd say, it's okay. And I was like, let's just be sure about this before that happens. And so our first date with the kids, we let them choose where we would go, and they chose the Real Inn.
Oh.
And it was the best day ever. I was very nervous. I put on, I loved, if I'm not wearing heels, I'm wearing my Chucks. And so jeans, Chucks, jacket, and it was the best day ever. It actually ended up going on for, it was really good.
It did.
I actually spoke to the First Lady about that decision and her awareness.
Isn't she the First Lady?
No, she's the vice president.
Oh, okay. Who's the First Lady?
Joe Biden. Jill.
Oh, Jill. That's right.
Dr. Jill. Don't forget Dr. Jill.
Oh, sorry. I
She's
can't.
She's a doctor.
Yeah. Doctor of what? Doctor of a pudding head.
Integrity a human being must have to come into a dynamic. How did you know, if you went into it with such integrity, how do you deal with when the kids are acting a certain way?
Oh, shut up. What kind of horse shit is this? You got the fucking vice president on and you're looking for what, parenting tips? Oh, Kamala, I got to ask you something serious here. Would you ever give your kids Lucky Charms instead of Cheerios?
I would love if she would. I beat the shit out of them.
That would be good.
I whoop the hell out of those dumb bastard kids.
And why is Drew Barrymore almost crying here?
Crying through the entire thing.
Jesus, she's like, it is so brave of you to send your kids to kindergarten. Shut up.
So brave of you. Where did you hide your kids when you were fucking other men?
How did your kids never hear you taking it in the ass from Senator Bob Dole?
Oh, that's awful.
Did he rest his dead arm on your butt?
All right, let's go. Come on, Mom.
All right, here we go.
So their mom, Kristen, and I are friends. We have established a really wonderful friendship. We're on the same team, right? About parenting. We respect each other and we like each other. And I think what's really important and will make it work is when all of the adults who are in that dynamic have respect for each other. Yes. And understand that this is not about territorial ownership.
Yes.
Right? But it is about respect.
Yes.
You know, I was very clear with the kids. I am not here to replace your mother. Yes. You have that one mother, and I'm the second mother.
Mamala.
Right, Mamala. And I think that when the adults are really clear about, you know, a commitment to mature relationships, it makes it so much easier for the kids because children don't want to have to choose.
No.
And it's just...
Well, you clearly did.
Right?
She kept choosing and choosing and choosing. You need to stop laughing over there because you're making me laugh.
The whole thing is just killing me.
This is so bad.
I literally have an image of, like, Bob Dole dead arm on her back.
A scribble all over her left ass cheek where the dead arm was moving. The pen was still in it. Looks like a spirograph hit her asshole. All right, here we go.
It's not fair to them to put them in a situation where intentionally or not, they're being manipulated around the adults' weird relationships with each other, right?
Well,
and
that's
you have to sort that out.
a great segue to say that I keep thinking in my head that we all need a mom. I've been thinking that we really all need a tremendous hug in the world right now.
Yeah.
But in our country, we need you to be Mamala of the country.
Oh, thank God.
Oh, my God.
Shut up.
There you go. That's the first time her mouth has been shut.
Oh, my God. Is this the talking points now? Because Howard Stern called fucking Puddinhead the father of the country.
Apparently, this is the memo that went out to the talk show host that
oh my God!
they're the Mamala and Papa of our country.
The Mamala of our country. Jesus
God, if that was
Christ!
my mom, I would have killed myself.
Holy shit! Yeah, because her breath smelled like bleach and pennies. All right, here we go. Woo! Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, no, I know.
Oh, stop! What is Drew Barrymore doing?
It's the most disgusting display I've ever seen.
What is this? Is she like secretly her real mom?
I think so.
Is that what's going on here? Like she's meeting her real mom for the first time. Look at her on the verge of tears.
Verge of tears? She might go down on her. I don't know what's going on here.
Yeah, she might. If it was Michelle Obama, she'd have something to go down on. All right, here we go.
Woman who respects so much and wants to share and wants to be confident and has no ounce of me that has competitiveness.
Yeah.
When we lift each other up, we all rise.
That's exactly right. That's right.
I never knew she was such a bad actress.
Yeah, she's really bad. And when we lift each other up, Chris, we all rise. I didn't know that.
No shit.
But I'm not trying to. I'm going to try to lift you up. No offense, Chris. But,
I always thought when I lifted somebody up that it was how they fell.
Right.
What kind of fucking dumb statement is that?
You and I should not be lifting each other up.
Jesus, can you imagine this? Can you imagine? The guys are the best thing that happened was that the guys didn't have to go to this show.
Yeah,
can you imagine being a guy sitting in this crowd?
I would have threw my ticket at a dumb bitch.
I would have walked out.
White liberal women are the downfall of this country. I totally agree. You know, half these fucking protests that I've been watching on college sure, you got the ones with the shit on their heads and everything that suck, but the white liberal women are the ones with the megaphones yelling stupid crap out.
Right.
I swear to God, they're the worst human beings on the face of the earth. They don't even know why they're protesting. They just want to be the center of attention and start yelling stuff out.
Yeah, we're just doomed. And these are our celebrities. You're the mamala of our country. And you lift us up, and we just need a great collective hug from you, mommy. Ugh.
Yeah, she's almost in tears. I mean, it's...
She's like, I don't know if she's faking or if it's real, but she literally is trying to cry. Just terrible. Ugh. All right, here we go.
I wonder if she, like, at the end of this, went backstage and was like, holy shit, did that look all right? I mean, like... because she can't be serious.
Yeah, I can't imagine either. But doesn't she have like mental problems anyway?
I think so, but
I think it's showing. There's probably a part of her that one, she's a liberal goofball, so there's that, and two, she probably really does believe this.
Well,
I think unlike Stern, who was just lying, I think she really buys this.
I don't know. It could be just the fact that it's the biggest guest that she's ever had on this retarded show of hers, and so she has to do something. She has to make,
How long has this even been a show? I was unaware that there was a Drew Barrymore show.
I mean, this idiot can't ask a real question to her about politics or anything else. One, Mama couldn't answer to begin with, but two, Drew Barrymore's a fucking idiot. She's not going to know what to ask her about politics.
Yeah, that's true too.
How the country's running, so she has to do nothing else but fawn all over. It's joke.
Ugh, this is horrible. All right, here we go.
That's right.
That's right.
That's right.
However, we need a great protector.
Yes.
Well, part of it is I think that sadly over the last many years, there's been this kind of perverse approach to what strength looks like.
Is it?
Which is to suggest that the measure of one's strength is based on who you beat down. Instead of what we know, the true measure of your strength is based on who you lift up.
Yes.
Who does this bitch and her party lifted up?
No, nobody. And she's not even saying anything.
Yeah.
That's the problem. She's
just saying words and combining them together. The strength of our nation is lifting up the spirit of the beaten down distrodden who need a good uplift.
She's honestly
Thank you.
She's the definition of a word salad. I mean, she just tossed a whole bunch of shit and just starts spewing it out. I mean, it's the most ridiculous thing ever.
If anybody knows how to toss a word salad, it would be Kamala.
Yes. She does this all the time, though.
She is. And Drew Barrymore just sitting there going, How about what does that even mean? Why don't you answer? Why don't you be an interviewer there, Drew? What does that mean? Who are they lifting up? Who are you lifting up? I don't think you got to be a rocket scientist to figure out the follow-up question to what this dummy is saying. She's saying that she has to lift people up. Okay, who are you lifting up? And even if she lies about the answer, at least she has to answer. Not just some blind question. Oh, well, good. I'm glad you're doing that.
They lifted up their stock portfolios. Yes, they
Yeah. She lifted up her skirt to Bob Dole.
They lifted up their trans.
That's right. All right, here we go. More of this fun. I'm loving this video. I hadn't watched all of this. I had just seen the little short clip.
Yeah, this is good.
This is fantastic. Here we go.
Right?
Yes.
You know, and if you ever want to measure, if you ever just want some indication, objective indication of your individual power, see what you can do to help other people in need. And it could be just a simple act.
Yes.
Yes.
Including just taking some interest in actually listening
Yes.
to how people are feeling and to sincerely
I'm listening, and so far you haven't made any sense.
No, she's right. She's absolutely right. The way that you help the less fortunate is by listening. So
That's
the
right.
Guy that you pass on the side of the road, don't give him any money or offer him a meal.
A job.
Job. No, you listen to him to see how he feels. See how that works for you.
I was going to offer you a job, but
no.
instead, just tell me your problem.
Mama Harris told me to ask you how you feel today,
Yeah.
and that will help you.
I've got an open ear for you. Tell me how that helps.
You know what? I think if Mama asked me how I felt today, my leg would grow back.
I think it probably would. That's probably been the problem right now.
Yes. Mama hasn't asked me how I felt, because if you ask people who are less fortunate or have problems how they feel, it solves everything. Mama, please come ask me how I feel. I'm gonna rub my fucking stump on your forehead.
How about this, Seth? I want you to call your wife right now.
Yeah.
Because I want to chastise her because she's obviously not doing her job. Instead of, doing the things like helping you and helping you recover and doing all the bullshit that she's had to do the last 2 years to help you with your leg, she should have just listened.
She should have listened.
She should have just listened.
Yes, I would have told her, and then my leg would have been grown back by now, and I'd be walking everywhere.
That's right. I blame your wife
Absolutely. Blame
for not following the advice of Kamala.
Mama.
Mamala. I'm sorry, Mamala. All right, here we go. A little more of this.
have some interest and care and concern about their well-being or their suffering. And I think we all know that's what we want in each other. That's what we want from leaders. But let's be...
I don't know that. I don't know that I want that from my leaders.
Right?
I want my leaders to take action, not sit around listening to a caucus. Do something.
That's what I told John Schneider.
Yeah.
Sick and tired of op-eds and letters and committees. Fucking do something.
But
wait, she's got to listen.
But this dummy is actually saying it. She literally just said, we don't have to do anything. We just have to listen.
Yes.
That is true strength, just listening. Ugh, all right.
Intentional about it and open about saying, you know, that's really what strength looks like. And that's the kind of strength that we want.
Thank God. Thank God we have her. Jesus.
That was the best interview ever. I think Drew Barrymore should be very proud.
Well, she probably will win a daytime Emmy for that.
Oh, yeah. Especially with the tears and the way she grabbed her hands.
Yeah. And the way she engaged. Tell me about putting your child on the bus. Is that emotionally stressful to you?
Where's the Secret Service? I thought you were not allowed to touch these people. Like Drew Barrymore could have strangled her. Nobody was allowed to do anything.
Yeah.
Best friends.
Well, they must be because she doesn't need Secret Service. She just needed Drew to listen, and Drew was right there to listen. That's why they didn't need the Secret Service.
Dude, next time that somebody comes into your house with a gun, just ask if you can listen to their problems. Ask why they're doing this.
I'm not going to shoot you. Just tell me why you're here. What can I do to make your life better? What a fucking moron.
Probably will win a daytime Emmy.
She probably will. I don't doubt that she will. Do you?
No, not at all.
And then she'll be considered one of the elite. She's an elite interviewer, like Howard Stern. Ugh. Just ungodly.
That was pretty rough. But again, the image of Bob Dole standing behind Mamala with his dead arm laying on her back with his dick stuck in her ass is really never going to leave my mind. I will dream about that tonight.
I will be making that into a TikTok clip that will get taken down, but I don't care.
Yeah, there's got to be a porn like category of that, right? Bob Dole.
Yeah, I'm sure there is.
That's what I should do. Like
pen holder porn.
Like a impersonator porn. I'll impersonate Bob Dole.
There you go.
I'll impersonate. Well, I can do the amputee thing.
He's dead, right? Is he dead?
Who?
Bob Dole.
I don't know. I think so.
I think he's dead.
He should be. If he's not, he should be.
I was gonna say he was like 120 years ago, so he's got to be dead at this point.
It's almost that time.
It is. It's almost time for us to boot you freeloaders off.
All right, by the way, this is breaking news. House votes to expand definition of anti-Semitism amid anti-Israel demonstrations across the U.S. How do you have to expand the definition? I thought it was pretty clear what anti-Semitism is.
Well, it probably now includes everything but white. So if you say anything about anybody, then you're an anti-Semite as well as a racist.
They expanded the legal definition.
Okay, what is the new definition?
Trying to find out what the new definition is.
Let's see.
It's the International Holocaust Remembrance Alliance's definition of anti-Semitism when enforcing anti-discrimination rules. Critics say it will negatively impact free speech on campuses.
Oh, good.
The definition adopted by blah, 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 blah.
Here's my question: is it illegal to be an anti-Semite? And I'm not trying to say people should be. I'm just saying, is it illegal to have a hatred toward anybody?
Well, that's what I would argue too. Is that, you know, as much as I despise it,
I do too. But
I mean, you know, you're allowed to hate people, aren't you? But I don't think you're allowed to hate people to their face.
Why?
I don't know. I'm still trying to figure that part out.
Can we pass something else called anti-copism? Right. So that when these guys start getting in the face of these cops and tell them that they're pigs and that they're going to kill their families and stuff, that we can, you know, break their skulls too?
And I've always had that issue because I don't, you know, when they started calling everything a hate crime.
Mm-hmm.
Every crime is a hate crime. If somebody breaks in your house, they're not doing it because they love you. You know, there's hatred behind crime. And just because you don't like somebody, I don't necessarily think that should be a crime. I don't like these dumb bastard protesters that are chanting Free Palestine when they don't even know what they're chanting for. I mean, there's not even a country called Palestine. I don't like them, but I shouldn't be charged with a hate crime for that.
No. There should be no such thing as a hate crime. It's ridiculous. Saying something is not a crime. Shouldn't be a crime. Unless you're a slave.
I mean, is there a hate crime for calling me a fat pig when they're walking on the street and they see me? Is that a crime? Can I have somebody arrested for a hate crime? I don't think so. I mean, you're allowed to hate me because I'm fat. If you think I'm disgusting because I eat too much or you don't like the way that I look, I guess you're allowed to hate me. And I don't have anything to say about that. I don't give a fuck whether they hate me or not.
Well, fat is 1B behind white. White is the all-time worst, but being fat is the second all-time worst. There's no people see no problem in that one. Fat shaming is fine.
I guess.
Which I'm good with that. I'm good with every shaming being fine.
Yeah, it doesn't really bother me.
It doesn't bother me either.
Where do you draw the line? Like, again, I know, dude, believe me, I know that there are people that make fun of me when they see the leg, and you know they'll make fun of me all day long. There's stupid kids that'll make fun of the way that I look with the prosthetic or whatever. And it shouldn't be a hate crime. They're dumbasses. And if they push me over, it shouldn't be a hate crime. They should be arrested for pushing me over.
Yeah, it should just be simple assault.
Yeah.
That's what it is. Forget the words. Enough with the word shit. Words hurt. No, they don't. Stop it. Stop being such a goddamn pussy. Oh, I'm sorry. I mean, I didn't mean to be a pussy Semitist.
Yeah. Well, that's just it. Now you see what Biden's doing. He's going on all these shows and doing all this stuff because Trump is sitting in a courtroom somewhere.
Yeah, of course.
So they
Yeah,
just
no, it's fucking ridiculous.
Making around and doing whatever they want to do. But we talked about it earlier today on Bob's show about people are stupid though. My wife is the perfect example of not being stupid. That's not what I'm trying to say, but she's the perfect example of the typical American. If she didn't live with me, who's always talking about politics and watching Fox and all that kind of stuff,
right?
Then probably wouldn't pay attention to any of this stuff.
Sure.
Because it's exhausting, it's boring after a while, and it's a lot. It's a lot to put up with. And it's very confusing when both sides are attacking you from every angle. And so, but I think most Americans are like that. Most Americans are obviously, if you look at the ratings, most Americans are not watching Fox News or CNN or anything.
Right.
They're busy watching NCIS and Amazing Race and bullshit like that. And I spend most of my time watching the news. So but I think most Americans are clueless as far as what is going on. And so to see Mamala on Drew Barrymore, there's a lot of people that are going to buy into that bullshit because they're not watching and getting the facts like they should. They're not, doing the research like they should. They're just sitting there watching stupid-ass Drew Barrymore make a fool of herself with Kamala Harris.
Right.
And I think people are just lazy, and that's the problem. I think people are lazy. And
they are.
Which I get. I mean, I wish that I didn't do what I do for a living because it'd be nice to have my head in the sand and not pay attention.
I know, dude. Believe me, it's. I've had to start because of doing this show. I felt like I needed to know a little more, so I've started watching a little tiny bit of news here and there, and it makes me crazy. Makes me crazy to where most of the time I just come into it and let you tell me what's going on because I just can't. I can't put myself into that shitty headspace all the time.
And
I just can't do it.
Natalie is correct here. Natalie shaming people is not considered bullying, and it's a crime now. And you know what? I remember back in school, people would pick on me for the way that I looked, and I had friends that really liked me. Mm-hmm. And you know what? I didn't think it was bullying. I thought that kid's just an asshole.
Right.
But now it's not. Now it's bullying, and it hurts, and you got feelings involved. And you know what I did? If I was upset about somebody not liking me or making fun of me for the way that I looked, whether it was fat or my curly hair or whatever it was when I was growing up that people wanted to make fun of, maybe there were days where I got upset. I went home and I was crying about it like a little bitch. But you know what? Then I went out with my friends. I had a good time and I forgot about it. Because it wasn't bullying. It was just some kid who was being a dick.
Yeah.
Get over it.
You toughened up and you either fought the kid or ignored him from then on.
So you know what I am now? I don't really care what anybody says to me because I toughened up from what I used to be, and you learn from those things.
Well, you toughened up. Exactly.
Anyway, it's time to wrap this up and head over to Minds, minds.com, minds.com/Seth Williams Show.
That's right.
Extra content will be there, 5:30 to whatever, 6.
Yeah.
And thanks to John Schneider for joining us.
That was fantastic.
He was great. If you missed it, you joined late, we'll have it posted somewhere. We'll be able to find it.
It'll be up.
And God willing, we'll talk to you again on Monday.
That's right.
But right now, we're saying goodbye to anybody who's not paying like you should be.
That's right.
/Seth Williams Show. Going to it now. Have yourself a great rest of the week.
All right. See ya.
See ya.